These are wintergreen mints. Whether naturally flavored or artificially flavored, they're flavored by the same chemical, methyl salicylate. Now, that chemical has a very interesting history. It used to be used primarily as an anti-inflammatory. We used to use it on skin. We used to use it to kind of cure skin ailments. We could take it orally to help with aches and pains, because in the body it breaks down to salicylic acid. And salicylic acid is the main ingredient in aspirin. Nowadays, it can be used as things like pesticides. It can be used for other lab uses and some industrial uses. Now, on most mints outside of Altoids, they either put a wintry scene on the container or they put a generic mint leaf. But Altoids puts a very curious ground-dwelling plant on there. Now, you may be asking yourself, what plant is that? Well, it's this plant right here. Gaulthieri procumbens, American wintergreen, also known as boxberry, teaberry, and goes by a few other common names that you may know it by. What we used to do is harvest this naturally. What people used to do is they'd go out, they'd find it, and they would wild harvest it, add it to gums, add it to skincare products. They would add it to teas. Natives used it for the longest time. And the thing is, though, it's an herb. It's per biomass, it's really hard to get a lot out of this. It was said you had to dry this let this ferment for 3 days to get the most out of this. So this required a lot of processing. So it was ferment for 3 days and then distill the leaves to get all the methyl salicylate out of it as possible, or wintergreen oil as it's commonly called. Now, it wasn't until we found a different source of this that we stopped using this commercially. Mountaineers discovered a different source of this and found it was a lot more efficiently to harvest it from this other plant. And let me show you it. So they discovered Betula lenta. They discovered they could harvest it a lot more efficiently from this tree. This tree is known as black birch or sweet birch. And you peel back some of the bark from this, and you know what? You can pull methyl salicylate from this a lot more fast than the other ones. And when the mountaineers discovered that, they went ham on these trees. They figured out that you could harvest the wintergreen oil from these trees, from the inner bark, even some of the wood chips, the leaves, the twigs, and they just distilled whatever they could out of these trees. And it was said that you could get 1 gallon of wintergreen oil from 100 saplings. The thing is, that almost wiped out the black birch. And that's not good. This is a really awesome species, and a very important species. What saved it was the fact that we learned to synthesize methyl salicylate. We learned to synthesize it from salicylic acid, the main ingredient in aspirin. And it took some time for the methyl salicylate, the synthesized one, to take hold in society. People were still skeptic of it, but it eventually did take hold, and it's still used today in most wintergreen uses, and even in the commercial uses as well. And that's good, because these trees did make a bounce back. And that's good, because I love these trees for the inner bark. The inner bark makes amazing tea, and the sap, when used for the natural sap is used, makes it amazing soda when it's been distilled down to a syrup. And if you want to know what soda that is, it's birch beer. It's birch beer soda. A lot better than root beer, and I love root beer. So, remember guys, get in the woods, have some fun. But remember to always respect nature. Because we gotta love it. See you everyone.